This lesson deals with files and properties, different ways you can open, different ways you can save the file. For starters, there's such a thing called a document information panel, where we can find information about this file, we can add information about the file. The way to get there is, first of all, you go to your Office button, and then you go to Prepare, which is a little bizarre to me, and then Properties. Now, the real basic stuff is you can say who created the document. So you can put your initials in there. I believe your name will come up in there automatically, or at least your login name will come in automatically. And then, if you worked for a company, you put your title, maybe the subject of the document, keywords for the document, categories. When you're dealing with a big organization, it just makes it easier to find documents. In case you didn't remember exactly what you named something, it makes the searching for the documents a lot easier. Other things that you need to know that you're going to use actually in one of your exercises is document properties. Now, again, here we're going to ask you to put in maybe a title, a subject, your name. So some of the information you have here you can enter in this window here. You can just go a little bit further with this window. So we're going to ask you to fill some of these things in. And then here, this is somewhat useful, where if you're typing in an essay or you have a project and they're asking for X amount of words, well, you can actually track how many words you've got from this little statistics window, which is neat. A new feature, though, to Word is the fact that down here above your taskbar, it's also doing that for you automatically, right? So that's a new feature because it's really popular. There are other things here that you may not find useful right now. Depending where you're working and the kind of job you have, some of this information might be critical. But for now, we're just going to practice the basics. Okay, we're going to put some summary information in. And then when you're done, you just close this window here. Another thing you'll learn how to do is the fact that you can save this as a different type of document. Now, not everybody in the world has Microsoft Office 2007. So if you're creating something at home using 2007, and you know that at work or at school they may not have it, you can save this as a type of document that can be opened pretty much anywhere. So instead of just hitting regular save, you go to your Office button, go to Save As, and go to Other Formats. And you'll click on this button right down here. Now, here it'll open anything from 97 to 2003, which is good. Rich text format, you can pretty much open with any word processing program. Word, Notepad, I mean anything will open. You're going to lose a lot of your fancy stuff. Your clip art, some of your formatting will be gone. All right. Plain text is a new one. I haven't really experimented much with it, but I think it's the same idea as rich text format. A lot of your fancy stuff will be gone, but at least the crux, the critical stuff of your document will remain. So when you're not sure if a program will open it, maybe save it as the original, but also save yourself a backup. That way, when you bring your file or you email your file, whatever way you're using to transport your file, it'll still work for you. Last one I want you to see is the fact that you can, I'm just going to close this file here. And when you open a file, such as this one, before you actually open it, you've got this button here, which allows you different views. So I could see the details of the file if I want. This is my favorite. It allows me to see the name of the file, the size of the file, the type of the file, but more importantly, when it was created and edited. The reason why I think that's important is I'm able to sort things with that button. I'm just going to show you your files here. I'm going to go to Handout and go to Computers, and maybe not the best example, but here there are 4 different files and they're all created different times. I could sort by name, I could sort by date modified. So when you're working with your own work and you want to see what was I working on yesterday, if you click on this button once, it'll put it in chronological order, so you'll see exactly what the last document was that you were working on. Also, if you want to preview a document, you can do that. So by clicking here, it'll give you a preview of what that document is. So if you're not sure which one you want to open, this little preview thing can work really well. You're not going to see clip art in your preview. Certain pictures you're not going to see as well, but it'll give you a good idea as to whether or not you're opening the proper document. The last thing I want you to know is If you want to just look at a document and not make any changes to it, such as a resume, right? You want to make sure you don't muck it up in any way. You can open as read only, which means open it, I'll play with it, I can do all kinds of changes, but it won't let me save it. It won't let me save the changes that I make, which is, sometimes that's exactly what you want. If you do want to save the changes, you can, but you'll have to change the name of the file. This allows you to protect the original and create another one without making any mistakes. So those are the file lessons that I want to cover.